Alexandra Alex Monroe was 24, living the dream most people in small-town Ohio could only imagine. She had escaped the Rust Belt decay of Dayton by getting a full ride to NYU for journalism. By senior year, she was interning at a major online outlet, dating a sweet finance guy named Ryan, and planning a post-grad move to Brooklyn. Life felt linear, predictable, safe. That changed on a humid August night in 2023. It was a rooftop party in Williamsburg. Someone from her internship had invited her. The music was loud, the drinks flowed freely, and Alex had 3 cocktails too many. She remembered laughing with friends, then feeling dizzy, someone guiding her to a quiet corner. Then blackness. She woke up in a stranger's bed, clothes torn, body aching in ways that made her stomach turn. The man, tall, blonde, smirking, was already dressed, scrolling on his phone like nothing happened. His name was Ethan Caldwell, 28, son of a hedge fund billionaire and rising star in venture capital. He looked at her with mild annoyance. "You were all over me last night," he said casually. "Don't make this weird." Alex tried to speak, but her throat was raw. She stumbled to the bathroom, vomited, saw the bruises on her thighs, the blood. She took photos with shaking hands. Evidence, instinct told her. Then she left without another word. The next days blurred. She went to the hospital, got a rape kit. The detective assigned to her case was sympathetic but blunt. "It's he said, she said. No witnesses. He has money for lawyers. You were drinking. It won't be easy." It wasn't. Ethan's team moved fast. They produced texts, flirty ones from earlier in the night, that painted her as willing. Photos from the party showed her smiling, arm around him. They leaked rumors to campus gossip sites. NYU intern accuses VC heir after regrettable hookup. Friends distanced themselves. Ryan broke up with her over text. "I can't deal with this drama." The DA declined to prosecute. Insufficient evidence for conviction beyond reasonable doubt. Alex dropped out 2 months before graduation. She moved back to Dayton, into her mother's cramped apartment. She stopped sleeping. Nightmares came every night. The same rooftop, the same smirk. She drank to forget, then stopped eating. Her mother begged her to see a therapist. Alex went once, then never again. Talking felt like reliving it. But something shifted on the 1-year anniversary. She was scrolling late at night when she saw a news alert. Ethan Caldwell had just been named partner at his father's firm. A photo showed him at a gala, arm around a new girlfriend, smiling like the world was his. Rage, pure, white-hot, replaced the numbness. Alex stared at the screen for hours. Then she opened a new notebook. She wrote one line. "He took everything. Now I take it back." She began researching. Not therapy, not law, revenge. She learned about Ethan's life, his routines, his friends, his weaknesses. She created fake profiles on LinkedIn, Instagram, dating apps. Shadow accounts to watch, listen, learn. She discovered his pattern. Parties, hookups, always the same type. Young, ambitious, slightly drunk. She started small. First, anonymous tips to his company's HR about inappropriate behavior at office events. Nothing stuck, but it planted seeds of doubt. Second, she found his ex-girlfriends. 3 of them had similar stories: drugged, assaulted, silenced by NDAs and fear. Alex contacted them through burner accounts. 2 responded. 1 cried on a voice call. "I thought I was the only one." They formed a private group chat, the silent ones. Alex didn't tell them her full plan yet. She just listened, built trust. 6 months in, she moved to New York again, this time under a new name, new hair, dark red dye, new life. She got a low-profile job at a coffee shop near Ethan's office. She watched him every morning. Same black coffee, same smug nod to the barista. She waited. One night, she followed him to a bar in the financial district. He was with colleagues, laughing too loud. Alex sat at the end of the bar, nursing a soda, dressed in a way that would catch his eye. Tight dress, heels, makeup heavy but natural. He noticed her within 10 minutes. He approached with that same grin. "Hey, you look familiar. Have we met?" Alex smiled sweetly. "Maybe in another life." They talked. He bought her drinks. She pretended to sip. He suggested his place was just around the corner. She went. In his apartment, sleek, minimalist, views of the Hudson, she let him pour her a glass of wine. She watched him slip something into it when he thought she wasn't looking. She pretended to drink, then excused herself to the bathroom. When she came back, he was waiting, expectant. Alex set her glass down. "Ethan," she said softly, "do you remember me?" He frowned. "Should I?" She pulled out her phone, played a recording, his voice from that night 2 years ago, laughing. "You were all over me." His face changed. Recognition. Fear. "You," he whispered. He lunged for the phone. She was faster. Years of self-defense classes she'd taken in secret. She kneed him in the groin, then slammed his head against the coffee table. He dropped. She zip-tied his wrists with ties she'd brought, gagged him with his own tie. Then she sat across from him, calm. "This isn't about killing you," she said. "Not yet. This is about making you feel what I felt. Powerless. Silenced. Broken." She pulled out a small camera, started recording. "Tell me everything," she said. "Every girl, every time. Or I send this to your father, your board, the press. And trust me, I have backups." Ethan cried, begged, confessed. 3 hours later, she had hours of video. Names, dates, details. She left him tied, bleeding from the nose, sobbing on his expensive rug. She walked out into the night, heart pounding but steady. The first piece was in place. But this was just the beginning. Ethan Caldwell was the target. His world, his friends, his enablers, his protectors, was the empire she would burn down. One by one. Alex Monroe, now going by Lena Voss in her new life, left Ethan's apartment at 3:47 a.m. The city was quiet, except for the distant hum of taxis and the occasional siren. She walked 10 blocks before hailing a cab, paid in cash, and had the driver drop her 3 streets from her tiny walk-up in the East Village. She climbed the stairs slowly, legs shaking from adrenaline, not fear. Inside her apartment, a one-room studio with peeling paint and a mattress on the floor, she locked the door, double-checked the deadbolt, then collapsed against it. Her hands trembled as she pulled out the small digital camera and the burner phone. She transferred the 3-hour confession video to an encrypted external drive, then made 3 copies. One stayed with her, hidden in a hollowed-out book on the shelf. One went to a safe deposit box under a fake name. The third she uploaded to a secure cloud server accessible only by a long passphrase she had memorized. She didn't sleep that night. Instead, she watched the footage twice, once with sound off, studying Ethan's face as it crumbled, once with sound, listening to every name he whispered through tears. There were 8 women he admitted to assaulting over 5 years. Some had filed reports and been silenced, others had never spoken. All had been threatened with ruin, careers, reputations, families. By dawn, Alex had a list. Sarah Klein, 26, marketing coordinator at a tech startup. Assaulted at a company retreat in 2021. Signed NDA after settlement. Mia Torres, 23, former model. Party in the Hamptons, 2022. Dropped out of public life after. Jordan Hale, 29, journalist. Similar to Alex. Roof party, blackout, no prosecution. And 5 more, including 2 from college years before Alex. She cross-referenced with the Silent Ones group chat. 2 of the names matched women who had responded to her outreach. The others were new. She messaged the group at 7:12 a.m. Lena, I have something big. Video confession from the man who hurt several of us. Names, details. If you're ready, we can talk about next steps. No pressure. Your choice. Responses came slowly. Sarah, is it safe? Mia, proof? Jordan, I'm in, whatever it takes. Alex arranged a virtual meeting for that evening. Encrypted video call, no faces on camera unless they wanted. She used a VPN and a burner laptop she had bought with cash. At 8 p.m, 4 women joined. Sarah, Mia, Jordan, and a 4th named Rebecca, who had been silent until now. Alex spoke first, voice steady. I confronted him last night. I recorded everything. He named all of you. He cried. He begged. It's real. She played a 30-second clip, audio only, Ethan's voice cracking. Sarah, I gave her something in her drink. She didn't want. Please don't tell anyone. Silence on the call. Then Jordan. That's him. That's the same voice from my nightmare. Sarah whispered. I thought I imagined it. Alex continued. This isn't just about him anymore. He has friends who cover for him. Enablers. People who knew and did nothing. His father funds half the startup scene in this city. His best friend runs security at parties where this happens. We can stop it all. The plan formed over the next hour. Slow, deliberate, careful. Step 1. Build the case airtight. Alex would compile the video, cross-reference with medical records, where available, social media timestamps, party invites. The women would contribute what they had: texts, photos, witness statements they had buried. Step 2. Go public. But smart. Not a single viral post. A coordinated release, anonymous website, encrypted drops to investigative journalists at the New York Times, Vice, and a feminist legal collective. Include redacted versions of the video to protect identities. Step 3. Target the circle. Start with Ethan's inner ring, the ones who laughed while he hunted. The first name on that list, Tyler Grant, 30, Ethan's college roommate and current business partner. Tyler was the one who often scouted girls at events, texted Ethan coordinates, and cleaned up afterward. From Ethan's confession, Tyler always had my back. He made sure no one talked. Alex began surveillance on Tyler the next week. He lived in Tribeca, penthouse apartment, drove a matte black Porsche. Routine: gym at 6 a.m, office by 9, drinks every Thursday at a members-only club in Soho. Alex got a job as a cocktail waitress at that club. Fake ID, references from a friend in the industry. She dyed her hair back to blonde, wore contacts, changed her makeup. Lena Voss became Claire, the new girl with a shy smile and perfect memory for orders. She watched Tyler for 3 weeks. He was loud, entitled, always tipping big to impress. He bragged about deals, women, power. One night, drunk, he cornered a new bartender in the hallway. Alex intervened, spilled a tray accidentally, apologized profusely. The bartender thanked her later. That was the opening. The bartender's name was Lena. Ironic, but real. 22, new to the city, scared but grateful. Alex bought her coffee the next day off shift. They talked. Lena shared how Tyler had been creepy since day one. Lingering stares, inappropriate texts. Alex listened, then gently asked, "Has he ever done more?" Lena hesitated, then nodded. "Last month, after closing, he said it was just fun. I was too drunk to fight." Alex's blood ran cold. Another one. She told Lena about the group. Not everything, just enough. "You're not alone. There are others." Lena joined the silent ones that night, now 5 strong. Tyler was next. Alex's plan for him was different. Not confrontation yet, destruction first. She hacked his social media, using phishing links sent from burner accounts, found his private messages, dozens of women, same pattern. She downloaded everything. Then she targeted his professional life. Tyler was pitching a new fund, $50 million raise. Alex created fake email accounts mimicking investors, sent subtle questions to his partners. "Concerns about personal conduct? Any HR issues?" Rumors spread quietly, but Alex wanted more than whispers. She waited for Thursday night. Tyler arrived at the club as usual. 3 friends, bottle service, loud laughs. Alex served them, smiled sweetly. When he ordered another round, she slipped a mild laxative into his drink. Not enough to kill, just enough to humiliate. Half an hour later, Tyler bolted for the bathroom, face pale. He didn't make it fully. Accident in the hallway. The club went silent, then erupted in laughter. Phones out, videos recording. By morning, the clip was everywhere in finance group chats. "Tyler Grant shits himself at Soho Club." Hashtag Tyler Trouble trended locally. Tyler called in sick for 3 days. When he returned to work, the funding round was delayed. Partners distanced themselves. Alex watched from afar, sipping coffee across the street. One down. But the real escalation came 2 weeks later. Ethan resurfaced. After the confrontation, he had gone quiet, lawyered up, probably. But now he was posting again. Gym selfies, business meetings, the same smug grin. He also started dating someone new, publicly. A 23-year-old influencer named Chloe Bennett. Pretty, ambitious, perfect target. Alex felt the old rage flare. She messaged the group. "He's hunting again. We stop it." They agreed. Alex created a fake profile. Young professional, interested in VC. She matched with Chloe on a dating app. Chloe was openly bi. Started chatting innocently. Built rapport. After 2 weeks, she met Chloe for coffee. Chloe was bubbly, excited about her new boyfriend. "Ethan's amazing, so supportive." Alex smiled. "Be careful. I heard some stories." She showed Chloe a redacted clip. Ethan's voice, no face. "This is him. Last year." Chloe's face drained of colour. "He said he was different now." Alex gave her the group link. "You're not alone." Chloe joined. Now 6. The network was growing. Alex spent nights planning the big release. She built a simple website on a dark web host, anonymous, untraceable. Title: The Reckoning. Voices silenced no more. Content: timelines, redacted videos, anonymous testimonies. No real names except Ethan's. His was the face they would expose. She set a timer. 2 months from now, auto-release unless she stopped it. But first, more pieces. She targeted Ethan's father, Richard Caldwell, hedge fund titan, known for family values speeches. Alex sent anonymous letters to his board with excerpts from Ethan's confession. Pressure mounted. Ethan started looking paranoid, checking over his shoulder, hiring private security. Good. Alex was in his head now. She walked past his building one evening, hood up, blending into the crowd. She saw him through the lobby glass, pale, pacing, phone to ear. He looked like a man who knew the shadows were closing in. Alex smiled to herself. The network was revealed. The empire was cracking. And she was just getting started. Alexandra Lena Voss felt the shift in the air the moment Ethan Caldwell realized the noose was tightening. It started small, subtle at first, like cracks in thin ice. 2 days after Tyler Grant's public humiliation at the club, Ethan posted a cryptic Instagram story, a black square with white text. Some people will do anything for attention. Truth always wins. No tags, no explanation, but Alex knew it was for her. She smiled at her laptop screen. Good. Let him squirm. The website timer ticked down. 47 days until auto-release. Meanwhile, the Silent Ones group grew to 8 women. Each new member brought more evidence. Screenshots, old emails, voice notes. Jordan Hale, the journalist, started digging professionally. She found court records of Ethan's father, Richard Caldwell, settling 3 other personal misconduct cases out of court in the last decade. All women in their 20s, all silenced with 6-figure checks and ironclad NDAs. Jordan's message in the group: this isn't just Ethan, it's generational. The father taught the son how to get away with it. Alex replied, then we expose both. She escalated. First move, anonymous tip to the New York Post's gossip desk. A single photo, blurry but recognizable, of Ethan leaving a party with a very drunk young woman on his arm. Caption attached. VC Golden Boy strikes again? Sources say pattern of partying with unwilling guests. The Post ran it as a blind item. Not explosive, but enough to get finance Twitter buzzing. Hashtag Ethan Caldwell trended for 6 hours. Ethan's response was predictable. He lawyered up harder. Cease and desist letters flooded the inboxes of anyone who had ever posted negatively about him. His PR team issued a statement. Mr. Caldwell is the victim of a coordinated smear campaign by disgruntled individuals. Legal action is forthcoming. Alex laughed when she read it. She forwarded the letter to the group with one word: panic. But the real breaking point came on a rainy Thursday in late October. Alex was working her shift at the Soho Club when Ethan walked in. He wasn't alone. Tyler Grant was with him, still pale from the laxative incident, but trying to look confident. 2 other men flanked them. Private security, bulky suits, earpieces. Ethan scanned the room like a predator who suddenly felt hunted. Alex kept her head down, mixing drinks, but she watched in the mirror behind the bar. Ethan ordered a bottle of Macallan 18. He didn't recognize her. Her blonde hair, new makeup, the dim lighting helped. But when their eyes met for a split second, something flickered. Doubt? Recognition? He leaned over the bar. You new here? Alex smiled sweetly. Just started last month, sir. He studied her face. You remind me of someone. People say I have one of those faces. She poured his drink, hands steady. He took it, but his grip was tight. Be careful who you serve, sweetheart. Some people aren't what they seem. Alex met his gaze. I could say the same. He froze. Then he laughed, forced, hollow. Watch yourself. He walked back to his table. Alex exhaled slowly. That night, after closing, she followed him. Ethan and Tyler left together in a black SUV. Alex took an Uber, kept distance. They headed uptown to Ethan's apartment building. She didn't go inside. Instead, she waited across the street in the rain, hood up. At 2:15 a.m., the SUV left again. Tyler driving, Ethan in the passenger seat. They drove to a private garage in Chelsea. Alex recognized it from surveillance, one of Ethan's investment properties, empty, used for meetings. She slipped in behind them through a service door she had scoped weeks earlier. Inside, dim fluorescent lights, concrete floors, a single office room with glass walls. She hid behind stacked crates, phone recording. Ethan was pacing. Tyler sat on a desk. She was there, Ty, the bartender. Same eyes, same fucking voice. Tyler, you're paranoid. She looks like half the girls in this city. Ethan slammed his fist on the desk. It's her, the one from 2 years ago. She's back, and she's not alone. Tyler laughed nervously. What are you going to do? Sue a bartender? Ethan's voice dropped. No. We're going to find out who she really is, then make her disappear. Quietly. Alex's blood turned to ice. They talked for another 20 minutes. Names of private investigators, bribes to club staff. Even a mention of handling Chloe if she talked. When they left, Alex waited 10 minutes, then slipped out. She messaged the group immediately. Emergency. They're planning to come after us. We need to accelerate. The next 48 hours were chaos. Jordan leaked the blind item to bigger outlets. Vice picked it up, then Jezebel. Anonymous sources, the silent ones, started talking to reporters off record. Ethan's stock plummeted, literally. His firm's latest fund lost 2 major investors overnight. Richard Caldwell called an emergency board meeting. Alex had a contact inside, a disgruntled assistant who hated the family. She got the minutes, Richard furious. Fix this, Ethan, or you're out. Ethan cracked. He started drinking heavily, posting erratic stories, deleted minutes later. One night, he called Chloe at 3 a.m., screaming accusations. Chloe recorded it, sent it to Alex. The recording, Ethan slurring. You think you can ruin me? I'll bury you. All of you. Chloe left him that night, joined the group fully. Now 9. Alex decided it was time for the second direct hit. She chose Tyler again. Easier target, more fragile. Inside the warehouse, concrete floors, chain-link cages along one wall. 8 girls inside, ages 16 to 22. Most were sedated, curled on thin mattresses. 2 were awake, watching him with wide, terrified eyes. Jack found the control room. 1 technician at the monitors. Jack put the KABAR to his throat. Open the cages, now. The tech obeyed, fingers shaking on the keyboard. Locks clicked open. Jack spoke low to the girls. I'm getting you out. Stay quiet. Follow me. He led them through a side door to a waiting cargo van he'd stolen earlier. Plates swapped, no VIN trace. He gave them water, blankets, the tech's phone to call 911 once he was gone. One girl, barely 17, touched his arm. Are you a cop? No, Jack said. Just a father. He drove them to a church parking lot 10 miles away, left the van running, and vanished before the first police cruiser arrived. Second target down. He didn't stop. Albuquerque next. The Salt Lake City safe house was empty, cleared out after the Vegas chaos. Victor was moving fast, consolidating. But Jack was faster. In Albuquerque, he found the third location, a converted motel on the edge of town. He arrived at 4 a.m., scoped it from across the street with binoculars. 4 guards, 1 manager inside. Lights on in room 12, probably holding merchandise. He didn't bother with stealth this time. He walked straight up to the front door, Glock in hand. The night manager saw him through the glass, reached for a shotgun under the counter. Jack shot him through the door. 2 rounds. Glass shattered. The manager fell. Guards poured out of the rooms. Jack moved like he'd trained for decades. Controlled bursts, moving cover to cover. One guard took cover behind a car. Jack shot through the engine block, dropped him. Another tried to flank. Jack spun, double-tapped the chest. 4 down in under 90 seconds. He kicked in room 12. 3 girls, chained to bed frames. No Emily, thank God. But their eyes told the same story. He cut them free, gave them the same instructions. Called an anonymous tip to the FBI tip line from a burner. As he left, he found the manager's laptop. More files. Victor's flight itinerary. Private jet leaving McCarran tomorrow at 11 p.m. Destination, Moscow via a refuel in Iceland. Jack smiled for the first time in days. Cold. Predatory. He drove back toward Vegas, but this time he wasn't running. He was circling. Sam called as Jack crossed the state line. "Jack, you're leaving bodies everywhere. The feds are connecting dots. They're looking for a vigilante. They've got your description from Vegas witnesses." "Let them look." "You're going after Victor personally?" "Yes." "His compound in Tahoe is a fortress. Private security, drones, motion sensors. He's got ex-Spetsnaz on staff. And he knows you're coming." "Good," Jack said. "I want him to know." He hung up. The next 24 hours were preparation. He bought gear from a contact Sam recommended. Suppressed MP5, breaching charges, night vision goggles, body armor. He rented a nondescript SUV with tinted windows. He studied satellite maps of Victor's Lake Tahoe estate. 20 acres, lakefront, surrounded by forest. Only one road in. Helipad. Underground bunker rumored but unconfirmed. Jack parked in a national forest pullout 10 miles away. He hiked in under cover of darkness, carrying everything he needed on his back. He set up Overwatch on a ridge overlooking the compound. Through the scope of a borrowed .308 rifle, he watched. Guards patrolled in pairs. Dogs. Cameras on the perimeter fence. Victor's black Mercedes G-Wagon sat in the driveway. Jack waited. At 2:17 a.m., the helipad lights came on. A chopper landed. Victor stepping out, flanked by 4 men. He looked angry, gesturing wildly. Jack couldn't hear the words, but the body language said enough. The father had ruined his auction, killed his doctor, freed his inventory. Victor was losing control. Jack smiled again. He waited until the house quieted. Then he moved. He cut through the fence with bolt cutters, avoided the motion sensors by crawling under low brush. He took out the first perimeter guard with a chokehold. Silent. The second with a knife to the throat. He reached the main house, slipped in through a basement window. The interior was opulent. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, art worth millions. Jack moved room to room, clearing like he'd done in house-to-house ops in Iraq. He found the armory, took extra magazines, a frag grenade. Then he heard voices. Upstairs, in the master suite. Victor's voice, thick Russian accent. "The American thinks he can touch me. I will find his daughter again. I will make him watch." Jack's blood went cold. He climbed the stairs, silent. The door was ajar. Inside, Victor, shirtless, scarred torso, pouring vodka. 2 bodyguards stood nearby. Jack kicked the door open. The guards spun. Jack fired. Suppressed bursts. Both down. Victor reached for a pistol on the nightstand. Jack crossed the room, slammed him against the wall, forearm on his throat. "You took my daughter," Jack growled. Victor smiled through the pain. "And you took my business." "We're even." Jack pressed harder. "Not even close." He dragged Victor to the bed, zip-tied his hands. Then he sat in a chair, Glock aimed. "Tell me about the politicians who protect you. The accounts. The names. Everything." Victor laughed. "You think killing me stops this? There are 10 more like me waiting." Jack leaned in. "Maybe, but you won't see them." He didn't kill Victor yet. Instead, he took the man's phone, his laptop, downloaded everything. He left Victor tied, gagged, alive for now. Jack slipped out the way he came, set a small incendiary charge in the armory on a timer. The compound burned as he hiked back to the SUV. Sirens wailed in the distance. Jack drove away, the glow of flames in his mirror. He had Victor's entire digital empire on a drive. And he had a new plan. The syndicate wasn't just going to die. It was going to be erased. The months leading up to Ethan's trial passed like a slow burn. New York City moved on from the initial frenzy. Headlines faded, social media shifted to the next scandal, but for the silent ones, the fight never stopped. They met monthly in quiet coffee shops or rented Airbnbs, always changing locations. They supported each other through therapy sessions, job changes, family confrontations. Some started speaking publicly under pseudonyms on podcasts and panels. Jordan Hale wrote a long-form piece for The Atlantic titled "The Cost of Silence," which won awards and brought in more anonymous testimonies. Alex watched from the edges. She had become the quiet architect, coordinating evidence drops, connecting lawyers pro bono from feminist collectives, ensuring no one was left alone. She had moved out of her tiny studio into a small one-bedroom in Queens. Simple, safe. She started writing again. Not journalism, but personal essays. Pages filled with anger, grief, and slowly something like hope. She dyed her hair back to its natural dark brown, stopped looking over her shoulder every time she walked home at night. Ethan's trial began in March 2027. The courtroom was packed. Reporters, survivors' advocates, a few protesters outside with signs reading "Believe Women" and "No More NDAs." Ethan sat at the defense table in a tailored suit that no longer fit his gaunt frame. His lawyers tried everything: character witnesses, paid for, claims of mutual intoxication, attempts to discredit victims as attention seekers. But the evidence was overwhelming. The prosecution played redacted clips from Ethan's confession. The jury watched in silence as his voice cracked on tape. Medical records from the rape kits, text messages, party photos timestamped. One by one, the silent ones testified, anonymous in name, but powerful in presence. Sarah spoke of the night she woke up in his bed. Mia described the Hamptons party. Jordan recounted the rooftop. Chloe talked about how close she came to becoming another statistic. Alex did not testify. She sat in the back row every day, hood up, face half hidden. She didn't need to speak. Her work was done. On the final day, Ethan took the stand. His lawyers advised against it, but he insisted. He looked broken. "I was wrong," he said, voice barely above a whisper. "I hurt people. I used my power, my name, my money to get away with it. I'm sorry. Truly sorry." The apology rang hollow to most, but the jury didn't need it. They deliberated for less than 4 hours. Guilty, on all counts. Sentencing came 2 weeks later. 18 years, no parole eligibility for the first 12. Additional fines, mandatory therapy, lifetime sex offender registration. When the gavel fell, the courtroom erupted. Quiet sobs, gasps, one woman in the front row whispering, "Thank you." Alex left before anyone could notice her. That night, the silent ones gathered in a private room at a small restaurant in Brooklyn. No champagne, just tea, cake, and quiet conversation. They toasted with water glasses. "To us," Jordan said. "To the ones who spoke, and to the ones who couldn't." Alex raised her glass last. "To never being silent again." After the dinner, Alex walked home alone. The April air was cool. She stopped on the Queensboro Bridge, looked at the skyline. The city that had broken her had also given her the tools to rebuild. She pulled out her phone, opened a draft email she had written months ago, to her mother, who had never fully understood but had always loved her. "Mum, I'm okay. Really okay. I did something hard. I fought back. And I won. Not just for me, but for others. I'll come visit soon. I love you, Alex. She hit send. The next morning, she woke up to sunlight streaming through the window. No nightmares. For the first time in years. She made coffee, sat at her small desk, opened her laptop. A new document. Title: Broken Silence, A Survivor's Guide to Reclaiming Power. She started writing. The words came easy now. Not vengeance, not rage. Healing. Months later, the book was finished. A small indie publisher took it. Raw, honest, no sugarcoating. It sold modestly at first, then word of mouth spread. Survivors messaged her on anonymous accounts. Your story saved me. I spoke up because of you. Ethan faded from headlines. Richard Caldwell's firm rebranded, distanced itself. Tyler became a cautionary tale in finance circles. Alex didn't follow the news obsessively anymore. She lived. She hiked in upstate New York on weekends, started dating again, slowly, carefully, someone kind who listened. She laughed more, slept through the night. One evening, walking through Central Park, she saw a young woman sitting on a bench, head down, tears on her face. Something in the posture felt familiar. Alex sat beside her, not too close. Are you okay? She asked softly. The woman looked up, startled. I don't know. Jack Harlan didn't return to Reno immediately. He couldn't. Not while Victor Dragomir still breathed. Not while the syndicate's arteries, money, power, protection, still pumped. The drive from Tahoe back to a nondescript motel in Carson City gave him time to think. He'd left Victor alive, tied and humiliated in his own burning compound, because death would have been too quick. Jack wanted the man to watch everything crumble first. The stolen laptop and phone were gold mines. Victor's digital empire was sloppy in places, arrogant men often are. Passwords reused across accounts, unencrypted backups, offshore banks with lax KYC. Sam had already cracked the first layer of encryption while Jack was hiking out of Tahoe. By dawn, they had. A list of 47 numbered accounts holding over $320 million in laundered funds. Cayman Islands, Cyprus, Panama. Wire transfer logs linking payments to US politicians, lobbyists, and at least 2 sitting federal judges. A roster of active operatives, lieutenants, recruiters, transporters, scattered across 12 states. Victor's personal insurance policy, a dead man's switch file, set to auto-release compromising material on high-profile clients if you didn't check in every 72 hours. Jack parked in the motel lot, showered off the smoke and blood, then sat at the small desk with the laptop open. He worked methodically, like dismantling an IED. He didn't need to steal it all, that would trigger immediate alarms. Instead, he used the credentials Monroe had given him to access the syndicate's dark web portal. From there, he initiated a series of small, cascading transfers. $50,000 here, $75,000 there, to dummy accounts he'd set up through Sam's network of shell companies. Each transfer looked legitimate, like normal operational expenses, but they went to accounts Jack controlled. Over the next 18 hours, he siphoned $18.4 million. He didn't want the feds getting credit for this. He wanted the syndicate to tear itself apart from the inside. Using an anonymous Tor browser, he uploaded chunks of the financial data to select dark web forums, where traffickers and buyers congregated. He leaked names of mid-level buyers to investigative journalists he knew from Emily's old campus paper contacts. Reporters who wouldn't ask too many questions about the source. Then the big play. The politicians. Jack compiled a dossier. Wire receipts, emails, photos of envelopes changing hands. He sent it encrypted to 3 outlets: ProPublica, The Intercept, and a whistleblower site that fed directly to the FBI's Public Corruption Unit. No fingerprints, just the truth, sharp as a blade. By evening, the first stories broke online. Congressional aide linked to human trafficking network. Judge in Southern District received suspicious payments from offshore entity. Panic would follow. Victor's protectors would start running for cover. The syndicate's shield was cracking. Jack's phone buzzed. Sam. "You're lighting fires, man." Victor's on the move. He escaped the Tahoe blaze with 2 men. They're headed to a secondary property in Montana. He's calling in favors, trying to liquidate assets before the feds freeze everything.